Our last panelist is Mr. Aleem Beg. He is the chairman of PinFin Association, a seasoned IT consultant with more than 20 years of experience in Finland. He has worked with some of the country's leading companies, including Nokia and Nortea. A very respected community leader and member of Pakistani community of Finland. We welcome you all. Thank you.
And my name is Bakar Zafar. I'm chair of SDP International, and I'll be the moderator of this panel discussion. First of all, thank you for your presence, for your time, and we're lucky to have you. It's our honor. And I will start away with our first question, which is, how would you describe the current state of political participation among immigrants in Finland? We can start if somebody wants, otherwise.
Okay, so I can talk on that from my own perspective. I've been in Finland since '99, and I've seen the community, not just the Pakistani, but immigrant community altogether, grow from a few where we used to try to look for a brown or black guy around if you can find and try to socialize with them, to the point that they're so commonplace now, and immigrants have grown really, really well ahead in society in different aspects. More specifically for the Pakistani community, we came in mostly as students back in, let's say I came in '99, and that's the time where students came in. Most of my colleagues and peers are from that time. And then they've grown from learning, getting their degrees, going into professional fields. A lot of us have now become entrepreneurs, some really successful ones, business people, in academia, a lot of us. So the growth of the immigrant community and the integration, I think, is related very clearly tied to the economic and personal growth of the immigrant society. And I think what has happened is that as the immigrants have grown and become more confident in the society, now we feel more confident to move to the next step and then get to have a say in the political arena. That's how I see the Pakistani community. For example, this is the first time we have the highest number of candidates, Pakistani candidates standing in the local body elections, and we're really proud of them. One of them is Bakar. And then I think the challenges that we see in this year is that acceptance of immigrants from the political parties itself, I think, is lacking. For instance, in the last, we had an event for election awareness, and I personally communicated with each and every one of the political parties, starting from the chairs to the vice chairs and the local and regional offices. And I have to say, sadly, that the responses I got were very, let's say, were lacking in many, many ways. I'm happy to say that I got positive response. The only party that responded from the chairperson itself was SDP. So I got an email from, so I was happy to see that not only does the SDP say it, but they don't just talk, they walk the talk. And I got an email from the chairperson. He said, I am not personally available. I'd be happy to get some of my vice chairs or somebody else, and they did make an effort. None of the other political parties actually engaged with us in that particular way. So I think if the Finnish political parties want immigrants to move forward and become integrated, we want to take the next step. We want to come forward and become integrated. But it's also at the other side of the table, it has to be the political parties. They have to stand up and welcome and try to take a step or two towards the immigrant and try to make us feel more welcome. So I think that's the part that is lacking, which is causing the immigrants to probably be a bit more hesitant. It's not just the man on the street that is not necessarily that open. It's also reflected in the political parties. They have to open up and allow more immigrants to come in. So I think that's enough. Way too many words for me, so please.
From next question, each panelist only have 2 minutes, so my request is please keep within those 2 minutes. The question is that all of you described the current situation. Now, the main thing to discuss is the barriers. What are the barriers that immigrants have, feel, or should be removed for their political integration into the Finnish system?
Thank you, Carl. Right, so 2 minutes. Very tough. Okay, because it's such an important question. I think it's more important, probably the most important question. What can be done? What's the problems we have? So I'll try to speak faster now. So, right, I believe like if you take two compounds together, I mean just considering simple logic, you try to make a solvent. So you have even if you put a drop of ink in water, and what is assumed to happen is that the ink, the immigrant in this case, is expected to integrate and become part of the broader solution, broader society. But what we need to at the same time remember that the water, the solution itself, will and must and cannot escape changing its own realities as well. So if the host country wants the immigrants to absorb, to integrate, then at the same time, it shouldn't be that, I think this is one of the key barriers for immigrants to integrate, is that while immigrants want to integrate, we do want to become part because it goes in our own benefits, socioeconomically. So there is not a single immigrant which would say, nah, I'd rather sit with my own pals in my own corner in a ghetto or it's like a socially secluded setting. There is not a single immigrant that would want to do that. Every immigrant wants to integrate. But why that doesn't happen is because they do not feel invited and welcome by the overwhelming majority, or let's say the solution, the hosts here. And that's a hard fact. It's not just in Finland, it happens everywhere. I lived briefly in Canada, I've lived in the UK as well, and I've seen multiculturalism work in reality. So just give me 5 seconds. So my favorite is Canada, because what they do is they say, hey, don't lose your identity, bring your identity along. Let's enrich our identity, our culture with your values. They don't say disappear, become us. They say, let's grow together. So I think the bigger problem, the bigger thing for us that Wakar wants me to give the mic away, but that's all I have to say. Thank you. Thank you. That's a threat almost. But anyway, yeah. So because this is a question that I have personally been trying to address myself for the Pakistani community, because now we're almost like around 10,000 strong, and we want to go into political integration now. And so I've been thinking about this and brainstorming with my PinFin partners, mainly Sabash, who runs the women's side of the community. And so this is what we've come up, that I think the political parties, and I actually took a point, and I actually acted upon this, that I have sent an email to, I think the SDP also has this children's wing. So does Kokomus and all of them. So what I have initiated, and I think this should be done from the parties itself, is that engage with the communities from the children's level, and not to engage them into politics, but to give them a sense of integration in the broader community. So what I'm trying to do, and what I think should be done, is that start the process of integration or connecting with the political parties, engagement from the school age children, in terms of whatever exposure to parliament and so on. And second level, which is also a step that I have taken, is that the student wings. We have Pakistani Student Association, so similarly all the communities have that, but none of them actually integrate politically. So I think that the parties need to integrate with the immigrant students. If you could get students especially, to integrate or connect with the parties, when they're students, you have a lifelong membership. And that is what I think should happen. Children, students, rest of it will follow.